Beef Enchilada Casserole! That's what it's all about, especially during this cold weather. Something really easy, simple to make, and it's filling.
Uncle Sam Presents is proud to bring you
Letting It Cook with Jules.
So the beef enchilada casserole, we're going to start with an onion here, and we're going to dice it up. So here's the ingredients list. We got chili powder, salt, pepper, a pound of beef chuck, tablespoon of olive oil, half an onion diced, cup of pecani sauce, can of black beans, 10 corn tortillas, tablespoon minced garlic, 2 tablespoons chopped cilantro, 1 cup Monterey Jack, 1 cup sharp cheddar, and a can of diced tomatoes and green chilies. That should do the trick for this shtick that we're cooking today. So getting these onions sliced, and then I'm going to get them diced. And I'm kind of a stickler when it comes to dicing and slicing my onions. I don't like it when the onions get stuck to my knife. It drives me crazy. So I slice them a little bit slower than I should. You just add about a tablespoon of olive oil in that hot pan. It's a good idea to get your pan hot first and then add the oil. That way you're not burning the oil itself. There, I added the half onion that was diced and a tablespoon of minced garlic. And then I already took off the wrapper of the beef chuck, and I actually just used the beef chuck to mix the ingredients a little bit. And this is probably the part that takes the longest, is actually just breaking apart that meat. A tip that would help is leaving the roll or just the meat, the beef out, to get about room temperature, so it's easier to break apart. And I think mine was pretty cold whenever I unwrapped it and popped it in there, so it just it's taken a little bit longer than it could if I'd let it get to room temperature first. But regardless, give it a good mix and break up the meat pretty well. Then I added a little bit of cilantro there, I believe 2 tablespoons. Just tossed it right there in the pan, and some black pepper that I had ground. I'm a huge fan of black pepper. I think most people are, but I add quite a bit in mine. It doesn't make it any more spicy. Some kosher salt. Just give it a good toss evenly all over the pan there. And then you want to add a little bit of chili powder to it, just to give it a little bit of a pop. And the less you use, the less spicy it is. The more you use, the more heat you're going to have. And then you just want to give it a good mix, and because you want to get those things incorporated. And then again, break down the meat. You see some chunks in there I need to break down. So I just like to get the meat finely broken apart, because I don't want to be eating my casserole and grabbing a chunk, whereas other parts of the casserole may not have as much meat. So it's important to get all of the ingredients incorporated and evenly sized as well. And I find that flipping it too kind of helps. I mean, you can mix it with the spatula, but flipping it, I don't know. I just like doing that. And then kind of a way to drain. This is the way I drain, and usually I drain from the other side, which is why it's a little bit shaky there. But you just throw a lid over the top and just dump it into a can. And then this is the black beans. I opened up a can of black beans. I rinsed them first because I don't like that thick, syrupy sauce that's on it. And then a can of diced tomatoes with green chilies. Added that there. Gave it a good toss in the pan. That way all the flavors, all the seasonings get nice and mixed. It's very important, as you know. And then the original recipe, it calls for enchilada sauce. I didn't have any, so I used some medium picante sauce. I gave it a taste first to make sure it wasn't going to be too hot. And it not only worked out well, it added a good thickness to the mixture there. So it's not dry or too crumbly. Almost kind of added as the glue to keep all those ingredients together. See how well whenever I move the spatula around, all the ingredients stay in one place? This is a thing that I kind of just, decided to do instead of buttering the whole pan. And I didn't have any vegetable spray to spray on the pan. I just drizzle olive oil, and I take a napkin and I just run it along the pan, the edges and the bottom. That way things don't stick. You could do that with anything, biscuits, rolls, whatever. But yeah, it's a handy little trick. And then I took some corn tortillas here. I've got white corn tortillas. And so this is a 9x13 dish, by the way. And I took these 4, and then I took the 5th one and split it in the center as a base layer. And I ran my spatula midway through the pan to kind of separate out half and half. And that worked out pretty well because you see here I am getting those things into there evenly as they should be. At that point, you want to get all that you can of that half. That way it's distributed evenly. And I went ahead and just spread everything out so every corner gets all kinds of delicious goodness. And then at this point, I add some Monterey Jack cheese. I just love Monterey Jack. I don't know, just gives like a more creamy texture and just a more, just more flavor in my opinion. So add some Monterey Jack. And I use it sparingly. And then I use the rest of this sharp cheddar bag that I had. And so I go ahead and get that sprinkled in there. And it is so good. And I'm a cheese-aholic, I guess you would say. I'm addicted to a lot of cheese. I love cheese. I can't have enough cheese. So that's why I add a ton in this as well. 5 more corn tortillas. I was thinking about doing 6, but then I realized that's just a bit much. So, I went backwards and took one out. Then I put the rest of the mixture on top, like so. Evenly distribute it so everything gets covered up nice and well. Looks like I missed a little spot there, but that's all right. We can fill that up with cheese. There's the rest of that bag. Time for a new bag. Can't have enough cheese. So we go ahead and get that. Sprinkle that all over. Much yum, much good. Much want to make this again and eat it again. Some more Monterey Jack cheese. And then a little bit more sharp cheddar, because why not? And you can tell I'm very excited about this. Pop it in the oven for 30 minutes at about 390 degrees because all of the meat's already hot. You just want to get that cheese melted and nice and gooey. And there you have it. Very ooey gooey, very nice, much yum. Crispy on the sides. That was my favorite part, was the edges. I like anything that's kind of burnt or crispy on the edge. Grab a quick slice. A slice. Like it's a pie. Get yourself some casserole pie. Grab a slice of that pie, would you? A dollop of sour cream. And some pico de gallo. Yes, I love me some pico. I dumped a lot on there, didn't I? And take a bite. Yes, so good. So delish. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more content from Uncle Sam Presents.
Copyright 2025 Uncle Sam Presents. UncleSamPresents.com/lettingitcook. Email us at iamunklesam@gmail.com. Find us on Spotify /YouTube/Rumble. Facebook, Instagram /X1, Twitter. Email us if you wish to be a sponsor.
Letting it cook with Jules!
Check out the rest of our videos at UncleSamPresents.com.
Let's cook! Letting it cook! Letting it cook with Jules!